What's going on, people? Welcome back. Onlyfacts Sports, you already know what it is. Episode 7. We're here, man. We're here after Fatal Fury, big card. I say big card, classic after a British classic. We're still kind of dealing with the aftermath of the British classic that was Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Good card, even though there were actually no knockouts on the card, but still a very good night of boxing.
Facts.
Good domestic dust up. Some people saying fight of the year potentially, which is...
Nah, I watched it back. Definitely not.
Maybe not in terms of quality, but in terms of drama.
I don't think it was. I watched it back. It was actually quite... Yeah, it was good. It was very good. But I think because of the whole build-up and the journey that we got to that stage, I think we're kind of gassing it up. It's not...
Maybe.
It's not that.
I think it's a good fight.
It's a great fight, but
Yeah.
I watched it back. Watch it back now. It don't have the same effect.
Yeah, fair enough. We got a lot to talk about. Arsenal and United are both competing in Europe this week. We've got Canelo competing this week. We've got the Super Card in New York this week. We're actually live for all the boxing Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I think Friday night we've got Roley, Romero versus Ryan Garcia. We've got...
It's actually Saturday morning, but...
Yeah, Friday night / Saturday morning, depending on where you are. If we're in New York, Friday night. If we're in the UK, Saturday morning. We're going to be here. Just me and my hay fever's here as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Barboza Jr. versus Teofimo Lopez. Who's Devin Haney fighting? Jose Ramirez. So big fight. And then Saturday we've got Canelo versus Skull. Hopefully he's recovered from his brutal sparring with Conor Benn. And then, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be again, what's that? Saturday
Oh,
night?
that's going to be Saturday evening.
Saturday evening, if you're in America,
night.
/ Sunday morning.
No, because it's going to be in Saudi, so it's going to be like our time.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, cool. And then on Sunday.
Well, Sunday in Japan, so
Sunday in Japan. Bro.
It's like 11 o'clock.
No, it's not in Japan. I thought he's in Vegas.
What?
Inoue, where's he fighting? Is he fighting in Japan?
I'm pretty sure he's fighting in Japan, bro.
Fair enough. I don't know why I thought he was fighting in Vegas.
If I'm wrong, you could be right. Where's he fighting?
1 second. He's fighting in Vegas.
Oh, he's fighting in Vegas.
Yeah, T-Mobile Arena, Vegas. So it's going to be 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is again going to be
5 hours ahead of us.
4 a.m. for us.
Yeah. That's what it is, isn't it?
Shane's making me work overtime. Bloody hell.
That's what it is, bro.
But there you go. We'll be there. We will be there. So Friday night, Saturday
and
night,
that
Sunday
time,
night.
we're actually going 4 a.m. Like, we're not doing no undercard that still.
Yeah, so, yeah. Make sure that you're here. Please do appreciate the effort that we're going through. The audio on this episode might be a bit choppy because you've got some problems with the microphone, so but it is what it is. We'll have that fixed by next week. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel for all of those things. Make sure that you're here. We'll be live for some of the football coming up. I'm probably going to be at AFTV tonight for the PSG game, so let's see what happens there. And I know Shane come to my house today and he's on a mad thing. He wants to have an argument.
No, but you know what? Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. Based on what I feel like we have to do, I think we have to start on New York still.
You want to start on New York?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about uploading. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about, yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the New York card then. I mean, we've spoken about this before, Saudi coming in and bringing innovations. And this is actually what I like to see from the Saudi guys. I am a fan of them bringing in the big money, making fights happen that weren't happening before. Then I was skeptical of having one group dominating boxing. You know, I don't think that's good. Everybody in boxing has their own interests, their own storylines they want to run, and any one person running boxing, whether it's Al Heyman, whether it's Eddie Hearn, whether it's whoever it is, Turkey's no different. He's just a businessman. They try to sell us on this narrative that we're so rich, it doesn't matter who wins, it's all fair game. Nonsense. If they put money into a star and there's a controversial fight, they will want their star to win.
To be fair, with Saudi, it hasn't been controversial because they wanted Fury to beat Usyk. They wanted that. They didn't.
But Usyk is someone that has a massive profile. If they robbed Usyk, I understand that, but if they robbed Usyk, that would be national news. There are lots of people that they could rob potentially, not necessarily.
But
just
we haven't seen any robberies.
I understand that, but I'm not attacking Saudi. I'm saying anybody that runs boxing, that if they rob someone who's smaller, there won't be the same outcome.
Well, here's a this kind of segues into the point.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Ryan and Devin
Yeah.
are slated for a rematch. That's the money fight. Ring Magazine have put the money up behind that. They've done a whole promotion that I want to show you behind that fight. Like that fight's already happened. If Devin and Jose Ramirez, for example, have a close controversial fight, is it a case where we see Turkey go around the judges again, like he done with Hamza Shiraz? Is it?
So you said it doesn't happen. Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
What does happen?
True. So do we see that happening? You might be right. You might be onto something. But it's been pretty fair though.
It's been pretty fair. I'm not saying they've been dodgy, but I'm just saying
But your point is true though, because Carlos Adames not a big name. That's just gonna go under the radar. Gonna go under the radar.
In a year or two, we're still
if Jose Ramirez got robbed against Devin, because everybody wants to see Devin Ryan rematch, it's just gonna go underneath the radar.
And especially because it's already promoted, it's already slated, it's already done. The promotion will take over. You know, there'll be egg slaps and Devin's dad fighting Ryan's dad. The promotion will just dwarf what happens with that fight, and you know things can get swept under the rug. So, like I say, I'm not saying Saudi have done it, but that's my concern. But what I was going on to say is, the stuff that they're doing in New York, this is what I want to see from a new player coming into boxing. You know, we saw Eddie do work with DAZN. DAZN is, I'm not going to say stale because they've got the Saudi guys. When DAZN first came through, they were doing all types of different content, bringing different celebrities through. They were doing things differently.
They were doing things different. Yeah. I think one of the things that, you know, we've seen some real wow things in boxing.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie Hearn having fights in his garden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Banging.
Is what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a mad thing. And then we're seeing a fight in the middle of Times Square. And what they done was they doubled down on it and said, cool, not only are we doing a fight in the middle of Times Square, we're going to have 3 of the most entertaining, controversial fighters on. In fact, not even 3, you could say 5. 4 definitely Roley of them that don't like each other and they have to fight on the same card. When do you ever see that? And then to double down, that's one day. Then we're gonna go over Saudi the next day. Then we'll go back to Vegas the next day. You know what I'm saying? It's like these man, what they've done, can't lie. It's a mad thing still.
Yeah, 100%. Even the promotion of having the 4 of them all talking at the same time, that kind of crossfire.
Yeah, that crossfire thing. That was dope, bro. That was so dope. And here's like for me, I'm almost been slightly disappointed the fact that because Ring Magazine was so close to the Eubank Union, I think they could have done more of that.
Yeah.
I think they could, because
the promotion for this is kind of been a little bit, it's quieting down because we're so jam packed with the schedule. Yeah,
because of how the schedule is so jam packed. I'm like, we could have. I would have loved to see more Teo and Devin and Ryan.
It makes me wonder if, you know, if Devin, the Ryan got the Eubank and Ben fight makes me think that if Devin does lose, that fight with Ryan could still be there. Because what we're now seeing is just good quality fights that people want to see that aren't necessarily... The last few years has been so belts, world titles, facts. Undisputed. I stand on this. In the last 5 years, we as boxing fans have been spoiled with undisputed fights and top level fights and stuff like that.
That's almost become a norm.
It's become a norm. And fights that we would have seen before 5-10 years ago, these would just be pay-per-view fights. If you were just a big star and you got 2 stars fighting each other,
but
you know, regardless.
Me and Rance were talking about this yesterday, which is if Ryan loses the fight, the Devin fight's still there, because Devin within his own spirit's gonna be like, nah, bro, I have to beat you.
Yeah.
You don't care. You could lose 10 fights, but I have to get that win back over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's what we're gonna see. But I guess my segue to this is one thing that I wanna talk about. I kind of want to talk about the actual fights themselves.
Yep.
I feel like Teofimo Lopez is in the best position and Ryan is in the worst position. Let me tell you why.
Okay, interesting.
Because Ryan is lost. If Devin and Teo win, you're in a fight where you might feel like you have to put on a show. You have to put on an entertaining fight.
I think he'll feel like that anyway. I don't think that his last win is shrouded in the drugs.
Yeah.
So he will want to show that he can win and stop someone without the drugs.
But if Devin and Teo look good, you're under immense pressure. Tio's almost got a free hit.
I don't think that the pressure's any more than what he's already under. It's the same as Ben coming off the eggs.
Nah, but bro, these guys are fighting right before you.
I understand that, but I don't know. That he's still under pressure anyway. Like I said, his last win was his last win was cancelled, right? They overturned it.
Yeah.
So his last fight's overturned.
If Devin loses, you're gonna be like, well, that fight. You almost feel like you just gotta get a win.
But if you both lose, then that fight's in real jeopardy, and maybe we don't see it if they both.
No, but that's why I'm saying. He's in a lose-lose, bro. I feel like there is like the pressure that's gonna be on Ryan to headline. Plus, also Devin and Teo are in a situation where you're on Ryan's undercard. Do you think I have to put on a show to you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how do you look at that? How do you not feel like that adds to the?
They all have pressure. Devin Haney's under a lot of pressure.
Facts. He's under a lot of pressure
because the streets don't love Devin.
Facts.
They don't. Do you know what I'm saying? He's lost to someone that came in deliberately overweight, never tried to make the weight,
Facts.
and was on steroids, and nobody cares.
They don't care.
You know, he's got no sympathy.
And then you sued.
Yeah, man, them don't care. They clowned him for suing him afterwards. They just don't care. Look at the difference in Devin Haney's treatment versus Chris Eubank's treatment. And Chris Eubank never even fought.
Chris Eubank was a villain, and he got turned into a hero because Conor Ben failed a drug test.
Yeah.
Devin was a villain, and he got turned even to a worse.
Exactly. I mean, like it's crazy. So I think Devin will be under a lot of pressure to right that wrong. Teo, you know, the performances he's coming off of, he's under a good amount of pressure. Plus, and he's up against a very. I was going to say he's
probably going up against the most game fighter.
Yeah.
I think both Roley and Ramirez are coming off defeat. Barboza's undefeated.
Yeah.
And you're opening the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're in your hometown.
Is he coming off? Is he opening the show?
Yeah, he's opening the show.
Teofimo is the bottom of the card, is it?
There's no other. That's the only 3 fights on the card. There's nothing else on the card.
I've got here. This is on TalkSport. LeVar Whittington.
Is that even? Let me see.
This is what I've got here. LeVar Whittington. Then I've got Devin Haney versus Ramirez, and then
no. Teo, I know for a fact that fight I didn't even know about. So
okay. But
of
the main 3,
I know for a fact
Teo's definitely going first.
Teo is going first. I know that for a fact.
It'll be tough.
I know that for. Huh?
It's gonna be a tough fight.
For you to open the show, when I mean open the show, you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's gonna open the show. Yeah.
You're fighting
the main card
before Devin and. Because
and Arnold Barboza is a very difficult craft.
I expect Barboza and Teo to be a close fight. If it's a close fight, Devin in his mind is thinking just win. It doesn't matter. You already hate me, so I don't need to. I came into booze. So if I have a boring 12-0, I don't really care because remember it's.
Where's Devin from again? I asked you this before.
He's from Oakland.
Okay, so he's not in his hometown. He don't care.
So I'm saying, whereas Teo is, you're in your hometown. They're coming to see fireworks. You've been talking Class A shit as well.
Yeah.
So you have.
He always does.
You know what I'm saying? He almost has to look impressive.
Yeah.
You have to win by a stoppage.
Yeah.
Whereas Devin, because Devin and Ryan's path is already set, it doesn't matter what. If Devin wins 12-0 in a boring fight, he's still got Ryan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Teo's pressure is immense to open the show as well. But he's kind of got a free hit in the sense that he's not fighting after them.
Yeah.
If he was like whoever was fighting after Ryan and Roley would have been under pressure because that fight's fireworks.
And like I say, for Ryan, the conversation around around Conor Ben was he doesn't have any power without the drugs in his system. He hasn't had a knockout now for 3 fights since his 2 negative tests. Let's see Ryan Garcia's last fight with Devin Haney was a stoppage. That's been overturned.
Not stoppage.
Huh?
Not stoppage. He didn't stop him. Devin went the distance.
Did it go to the bell? I thought.
Devin kept getting up. That's why don't give him credit, bro. He got knocked down 5 times and kept getting up.
Fair enough. Well, he was knocked down 5 times, but obviously that result was overturned. Now the question mark's going to be: do you still have that power without the steroids? If you fight Roley and it goes to round 8, 9, 10, and you haven't knocked him down,
I can't see it happening,
especially if you
Roley fights back.
No. Roley fights like he's got Anthony Yard's fitness. Do you know what I mean? Like he don't want to fight for more than 6 or 7 rounds. Do you know what I mean? Win, lose or draw, if you get to round 8, you might just throw it down.
That's why the shit talking that has been so. That's why I wanted to see more of it because Roley's been talking shit as well, bro. They all been talking shit. Yeah. Here's a question to you, and I think I've asked you this before: who's most likely to lose on that card? Or upset? What's the most likely upset on that
Teofimo.
card? You think Teofimo?
Yeah.
I think so as well.
It's not the hardest fight.
I think so as well. I think Teofimo's got the hardest fight. And I think Ryan's under slight pressure as well. Because it's a chaos fight. It's a chaos fight.
Ryan's fight is chaos, but I feel like Ryan could come out of that fight with a loss, but having knocked Roley down twice. He could knock Roley down twice, and Roley could knock him down 3 times. And do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you might be right.
Do you know what I mean?
I think even if Ryan loses, he knows the Devin fight's still there.
I also feel like American audiences know Roley Romero quite well. He's a reasonably household name in America.
Facts.
I'm not sure that Arnold Barboza Jr. is. His last fight was over in the UK.
Yeah, facts. The reason why I was saying that was because I just feel like because Roley's gonna fight like a madman, Ryan might be extra boosted up trying to put on a show. Fights like that, anyone can win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, he could lose in an entertaining fight. I feel like Teofimo fighting Arnold Barboza, who's very skilled at making a fight ugly and crafty. You might lose in an ugly fashion. Yeah, whereas Ryan could lose in an entertaining fashion. In the same way that Ben has lost, but his stock isn't really damaged because he lost in a really entertaining fight.
As you said, if Ryan loses to Roley, he still gets the Devin fight. He probably still gets it.
Yeah, as long as he's entertaining in there, that's the most thing. I think you could lose to Roley or have a draw with Roley or whatever. Any result could be entertaining. Against Arnold Barboza, he can just lock you up, and he could just make it ugly. You could potentially win. There's a world where Teofimo Lopez could win against Arnold Barboza Jr. and Ryan Garcia could lose against Roley Romero, and somehow Ryan comes out looking better than Teo.
Here's my question for you then. Before, what do you think is gonna be fight of the night?
Main event.
You think so?
I think that's why it's the main event. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the main event for the chaos. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're very, very likely to see a stoppage. I could see, Devin versus Jose Ramirez.
That's got 12 rounds.
Unless
Devin's chin's done. Unless Devin's chin.
That looks like a 12-rounder. Teo versus Arnold Barboza. Teo can stop him, but that could potentially be a 10, 11, 12-rounder as well, with maybe some survival towards the end. Ryan Garcia and Roley Romero don't go 12 rounds.
Facts. Here's a question before we go to what type of Devin Haney do we see? Do you think it's gonna be the same Devin? What do you think?
I think that Devin needs to.
Is Devin gonna be extra aggressive?
He needs to just get back into his boxing bag. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a technician. He's a very skilled technician, and he needs to stick to what he.
You think he's gonna do that for this fight? With one eye on Ryan.
I think that realistically, if he hurts him, he's still gonna look for a finish, and maybe he looks for a finish before the meat is properly seasoned. I think that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. I think, in my opinion, only because the fight with him and Ryan is already announced, I feel like it's not predicated on his performance.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I think we might see a very, very negative Devin Haney.
Yeah.
When a person gets dropped 5 times, they're extremely gun shy as well.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones where I'm like, if we see it like almost Shakur Stevenson-like performance, I won't be surprised either.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
We've seen Devin Haney get over aggressive and go for the kill, but I just don't think we'll see it in this fight.
That's the thing. I just wonder. I think you're right, but if he catches and counters and Ramirez's legs are wobbly, I think that he still would step on the gas. I think that Shakur would hit someone and put them on wobbly legs and go back and just hold his feet. I think that Devin might step forwards into that, which maybe isn't the right thing to do.
Yeah, you could be right.
I think that the temptation to, Devin isn't loved, but Devin wants to be loved. That's the problem.
You think so?
Yes.
I think him and his dad are slowly starting to embrace the fact that they'll never be loved.
He needs to embrace that. He needs to be a Floyd Mayweather type of person. But, Tank tries to be like Floyd, but Tank is a knockout artist. It's very different to Floyd. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
It's totally different. I think that, and obviously, Tank was signed with Floyd. He came up through Floyd, but Devin should have been the next Floyd, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? The personality, the character, he didn't have the size. The father and son story. He should have been that next Floyd Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? And really frustrate people with his boxing. Instead, like I say, he wants that validation, bro.
Mhm.
He does. He wants that validation. Maybe he don't want the love, but he wants the validation.
I mean, his actions will show that. His actions show that. So you're probably right about that. Let's say, for example, Devin Haney wins, Ryan Garcia wins, which I think we're all predicting.
Yeah.
And let's say Teofimo wins. What do you want to see next for either guy?
Well, I mean, I want to see Ryan versus Devin.
And yeah, of course, you have to see Ryan versus Devin. It's got to be Ryan versus Devin. Well, I think a lot depends on how Devin looks in this fight. If Devin looks shot, then obviously
shouldn't be shot after one fight. Devin's a young guy.
Some people are saying that though.
Devin's people are saying that.
Bro, Oscar De La Hoya said Devin Haney's shot and he's not the same.
I mean, he's Ryan Garcia's promoter, so we've got to take that with a grain of salt. But I think shot. If you want to say he's gun shy, then fair. I think shot is different. Mm-hmm. Shot is someone's had several bad losses, and it's just not in them. You would say AJ is shot.
Yeah,
he is lost by stoppage. How many times?
Twice.
And bad stoppages as well. Do
and,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the Usyk defeat.
And lost to Usyk defeats, but I think the stoppages are even worse. I think that the Andy Ruiz defeat does more damage to AJ.
And the Dubois.
That's what I'm saying. Like, both those losses are what. Do you mean like Devin? Like you say, Devin still went 12. You dropped me 5 times with steroids in your system and overweight. And you couldn't actually knock me out.
I won more rounds than you.
He should take a lot of confidence from that to say you can't knock me out with steroids and overweight. You can't knock me out. That's crazy.
That's a good point.
What are we doing? Imagine. Yeah, it's different. The size difference is not Crawford versus Canelo, but imagine Crawford and Canelo go 12 rounds. Canelo wins on points, and then after the fight, Canelo's popped dirty. You're bigger than me. And you're on steroids, and you still can't knock me out.
Facts.
I'll take huge credit from that.
100%. And
so I don't think shot is the right way to see it.
And a big credit that he does take from it, which I think after 6 rounds on everybody's scorecards, he was 5-1 up.
Yeah, the reason I would say someone like Anthony Joshua is shot is because Anthony Joshua mostly he can win on points, but he's not a really technical fighter. If he fights Fury, you'd think he's not going to win on points. If he fights Usyk, he's probably not going to win on points. If you fight someone, even Joseph Parker at this stage, you're probably not going to win on points. So he has to come out and be aggressive, and in coming out and being aggressive, you have to. You expose
more of your weaknesses.
Devin Haney can fight on the back foot. He can go out there and win fights and not have to get into a firefight. So that's why I wouldn't say he's shot. I think that's unfair.
How are you looking at it if you're Ryan? You beat Roley. How do you look at it if you're Ryan going into a Devin fight?
I beat you before, and I'll beat you again.
But. Are you going to go on this madman flex like you were on last time when you were doing, or how do you look at it?
I'm not sure that he'll do that again. I'm not sure he'll ever do that again.
But it did play a massive role in the psychology of the fight. It did make Devin go on. Devin wanted that knockout. Yeah. He saw Tank stop you. Yeah. He saw Luke Campbell drop you. So he thought, you know what, I can hurt you. And with Ryan Garcia acting like a madman, he thought, no, I can stop him. And do you think Ryan thinks, you know what, I'm going to act like a madman again, or what do you think? Or he just doesn't care? I'm gonna block you up anytime.
I don't think he cares. Like, Ryan is his fan base is too strong. He doesn't actually need
to do that. Do you know
what I'm saying? He's the new Tyson Fury. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's a chance
he's another mentally ill crackhead like Tyson Fury?
Do you think there's a chance that Ryan could be looking beyond like Devin? Like, he doesn't really, do you know what I'm saying? Or
I wouldn't say that.
Because he didn't want the rematch. He did not want the rematch. He outwardly said he didn't want to fight Devin again. So what do you think that was because of?
He knows you can't beat him without being on drugs. Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, like I've always said this, bro. Anyone that takes drugs to fight me gives me confidence. Because you don't feel that you can beat me without drugs in your system.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like meeting someone on road to fight and they've got a knife in their back pocket. You came here expecting to lose. I might be intimidated because you've got a knife. But on a man-to-man thing, you came here expecting to lose this fight.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. But Ryan's Teflon. He's the Teflon Don. Like I say, he's Luke Partridge. There's nothing he can do, like Tyson Fury, to lose fans. Do you know what I mean? He's Donald Trump.
Facts.
And he hangs with Donald Trump.
Here's a question for you. If Teo does win, who does Teo fight next? I know some people are saying Jaron Ennis. and him moving to super welterweight, does he? Here's a really good question because I just thought of it just now.
Mm-hmm.
Richardson Hitchens, New York born like Teofimo Lopez, is fighting Kambosos. Does he look for the winner out of that fight? One, it will be a unification. And two, if Kambosos does win, he gets his lick back against Kambosos.
I think that makes the most sense. Teofimo is very comfortable at the weight still, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense rather than stepping up.
Yeah, facts.
Both of those fights are easier, even though you've lost to Kambosos. Both of those fights are easier than stepping up to Jerron Ennis.
100%.
If you can't beat Kambosos, you can't beat Jerron Ennis.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? So the step up to a harder fight, I'm not sure. That fight also probably won't be your first fight because you'd have to acclimatise to the weight. So that means Jerron Ennis would be 12 months, 18 months away because you need 1 or 2 fights of the weight to acclimatise maybe.
I'm just saying, like, because if I'm Teo, he knows he's going to get the winner of Ryan and Devin.
Yeah.
Who do I fight in between that? Jerron Ennis doesn't sound like that's a good...
You got to go up and then come back down again.
Yeah.
You, like you said, fighters don't have a good record of going up and then coming back down.
It depends, innit? It depends, because, brother, apparently Devin's fighting at some catch weight. I don't even know what's happening with that fight.
But Devin's big for the weight.
Yeah, fact.
So it's a little bit different.
He might be, but... for me, in an ideal world, I don't see it happening. I think Richardson Hitchens cooks Kambosos. But in an ideal world, if I'm Teo, Kambosos wins, I get my rematch with him, I right my wrong on my record, and then I go in and get the winner of Devin and Ryan.
Yeah.
Who do you think out of those three? Who do you think comes out on top? Devin, Ryan, Teo.
At their best, it's Devin, but between Devin and Teo, I just don't think it's Ryan.
Yeah. Do you think Ryan deliberately took drugs?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you think the drugs played a part in Ryan winning the fight?
Yes.
I've never asked you that before.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like he took the drugs deliberately, but I felt like Devin's what you were talking about before, of Devin wanting to be entertaining and going forward and being aggressive.
Multiple things can be true. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a professional boxing match and you deliberately take drugs, it will have an effect on your performance. Even if the effect on your performance is only psychological. Even if you only are more aggressive because you feel like you're going to be stronger. Even if I lie to you and tell you that you've been taking steroids when you haven't, it's going to have an impact on you.
Facts.
It can't not have an impact. You've taken the drugs for the impact.
Of
so
course.
then to come out of the fight
and say it had no impact. It could even be a placebo.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said even if it's just a mental impact and it's not even real. So you can't take drugs on purpose and then say that it had no effect. That doesn't make any sense.
Facts.
But Devin played into that as well. That doesn't mean that Devin didn't make mistakes, or it doesn't mean that he is impossible for him to beat Ryan or whatever. Obviously, he thinks he can beat Ryan. That's why he wants the rematch. And obviously, it says something that Ryan's saying that he doesn't want the rematch.
Fairs. I don't know. Do you want to segue into Saturday night or football?
Nah, Saturday night. Saturday night, man. Yeah.
Canelo's back in action.
He is.
Pound for pound. We're talking about the pound for pound. I know why they call it a funny bone because it makes me laugh.
Bruv.
We're talking about the pound for pound Canelo taking on
pound for pound. Is there anyone else in the pound for pound list that doesn't have a knockout in the last 4 years?
Yeah.
He hasn't had a knockout since June of 2021.
Wait, let's go for it. So pound for pound number 1 is Usyk. He stopped Dubois.
Yep.
Crawford, he stopped Spence. Inoue stops everyone. Bivol stopped that guy he fought before Beterbiev. Beterbiev knocks out everyone. Bam Bam Rodriguez knocks out everyone. Who else is in the pack? Tank, Shakur. Oh, Shakur.
Shakur stopped Hadley.
Oh, true.
Yep.
Teofimo. Who else is in the pack?
I think we've gone past the pound for pound top 5.
Well, yeah. Well, I already said it's pound for pound.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Of the pound for pound top 5, Canelo's the only one.
He's not in the pound for pound my top 5.
But he's in lots of people's pound for pound. You literally introduced him as the pound for pound. So
I was gonna say pound for pound, like in and around.
Yeah, he's the pound for pound. Yeah. But as a pound for pound guy, and he's in most people's top 5, maybe he's 5th at this point. But
I put him 6th.
Yeah, but is there anyone else in the pound for pound top 5 that doesn't have a knockout in the last 4 years. Does he need a knockout? Can he keep?
Well,
You know,
if
you
we're
called
going,
it when he went 12 rounds with John Ryder. That's when you said, "Yo,
yeah, this guy got no power left, bro."
Yeah.
When he went 12 rounds, and you know what made it even worse? I have to say something because I just discovered. You know, Canelo's wins of recent have been looking really stinky. You know, because
Why?
they aged so poor. He went the distance with John Ryder. John Ryder's next fight, he got knocked out Munguia. He got knocked out by Munguia. Then Canelo fought Munguia and went the distance. And Munguia got knocked out by that Frenchman. So I'm like, bruv, these men could knock out these guys and you ain't knocking them out, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we're going by Conor Benn, if Conor Benn stops William Skull, then brethren, basically, what are we saying? What are we saying? You can't knock out William Skull. And Conor Benn, who's, 6 weight classes. That's what I'm starting to think, yeah.
he couldn't knock out Charlo. Charlo ain't even fought since."
But Charlo was a career 54 as well. He came up, 2 weight classes
That
to
was
fight you.
that was September. I'm saying like that's a Charlo that's not even motivated. Like he
He just came for the money.
he's not fought since. That was
Yeah.
the end of 2023. That was 18 months ago.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
I mean, we've got.
That-
You know, I don't know if he can be in the pound for pound top 5 at this point. You know, he's
But
earned the right-
you have to knock out William Skull. But here's a question to you. Well, how do you feel about Canelo not fighting in North America? Is it not Cinco de Mayo this weekend?
I feel like every time Canelo fights, it's Cinco de Mayo.
Or
These Mexicans be making it up. I swear down, bro.
Or Mexican Independence Day or something. Something's happening this week.
It is Cinco de Mayo
It's
weekend.
Cinco de Mayo.
It is, yeah.
And he's not fighting in Mexico. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
It just means he got paid a big bag of food. You know what I'm saying? Because Mexican beef and that, bro. Of course,
Trust me, he
because
probably got paid paper.
you got to think of I mean, Canelo is probably Mexico's biggest sporting star.
Yeah, facts.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, him and J Balvin, they got that shit on lock,
Yeah,
bro. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
For him not to
the
fight in
money that
Mexico,
you'd have to pull it, that you'd have to.
I think it's plus 100 mil.
Or like Vegas or somewhere in the South Vegas.
I think it's plus
Texas.
100 mil. I think it's plus 100 mil. That we got paid a 3-fight deal, innit? So it's not over 1 fight.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, though.
But he will be bringing a lot. I mean, when Saudi is making this is what Saudi do. They're really good at this strategy. When they're paying you the money, they want you to bring your eyes to Saudi, bring your audience
facts,
to Saudi.
facts.
So at least one of these fights needs to be here. Maybe after this, and I guess this is where you're going. If he gets through Skull, what's next? Hopefully we see Crawford. Hopefully by the end we see Benavidez. I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those 2 fights in Saudi and one of those 2 fights back in North America again.
Facts.
I think it kind of earned the right to go back to North America and
Of
have
course,
a fight there.
but I feel like it's brazy. But maybe because it's a William Skull. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it's a William Skull.
This is the most likely that you're going to get a knockout. This is the most likely. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you might not get a big gate in Vegas for a William Skull.
exactly.
So you might as well.
That's
go
what I said
Saudi.
about their strategies are normally spot on.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? They take William Skull to Saudi,
Do
he
you
knocks
know,
him out
yeah?
in Saudi,
Do you know the
and then he
maddest
goes
thing?
and has a...
I want to tell you something you're gonna be disgusted.
Oh God, here we go.
Do you know this fight's for undisputed?
You know what? I'm looking at it on BoxRec and I saw that Skull's got this IBF, and I was
You remember
like,
it's Canelo's IBF that he had to relinquish.
yeah, and I was just like, Canelo's ability to defraud the public. Nah, bro, his ability to defraud the public is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life.
Trust me, bro.
This is unlike anything, because...
That he would be 2-time undisputed now, you know.
Yeah. I mean, same with Usyk, I guess.
Now, but Usyk's different. Usyk's slightly different because he lost it to someone he's already beat, and it's the Boer. The Boer went on a mad run to get to that position. Who's William Skull beat to get in that position?
They took the belts off of him as well. Didn't Canelo
Yeah,
vacate the belt.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Whereas Usyk never vacated. They just forced him to relinquish belts. So, but this is what he does. This is what he does, bro. It's like when you got a little brother and you have the ball. You know when you hold your little brother's head and say like, you know, he's swinging for you and he can't hit you. He's gonna give you the belt and then take it back and say I'm undisputed. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna find, and then he'll dig up a corpse of someone else. He'll probably give Terence Crawford a 168 belt when Terence Crawford's fought at 154.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
facts.
And he'll probably give him a belt.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
What do you expect to see from Canelo? Do you expect a knockout or not?
We should be seeing him knock out William Skull.
If Conor Ben knocked him out, then boy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is, you know, William Skull, 32, 23-0, 23 wins, only 9 knockouts. He's not He's not giving you anything to make you think twice. Canelo with that flipping blockhead that he's got, bro.
Trust me.
That pitbull head he's got, bro. Do you know what I'm
He
saying?
should be right.
He's built like an XL bully, Canelo. He should be able to walk straight forward. We know his legs are gone, but it will just be a standard Canelo stalking the prey,
Facts.
closing off the ring, and then letting off on him. And
how much heart does William Skull have? You know
just that, bro. He's a sparring partner for Conor Benn. So that tells you where he's at in his career.
Yeah, trust
Is
me.
Crawford a sparring partner for Conor Benn? Is Benavidez a sparring partner for Conor Benn? No. Do you know what I'm saying? No.
This guy, you know what? For me, you just brought up a great point. The fact that you're sparring,
You're a sparring
Conor
partner for Conor Benn, for someone who's not even You're a world title holder who's a sparring partner for someone who doesn't hold any world titles and has never fought at world level.
That's mad. At 3 weight classes below you. 3 weight classes is mad. And now I'm thinking about it, you're probably just going to sell your belt. You're literally going there to sell your belt, bro. Because, bro, if you're getting paid to spar...
Bro, he's not selling the belt. You got it for free. This is like when man go on Gumtree and pick up things in the freebie section and then go and shop them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
No, but when I'm saying he's not going to go there to try and become undisputed. He's going there to sell his belt.
He's not selling his belt. He's giving Canelo back his belt.
But he's getting a bag of money for it.
Of course, but it's not
his.
It's not his, bro. In the same way, that belt's not Jermaine's. Like, it's not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
the reason
it's not his belt.
The reason why I'm...
It's not...
The reason why I'm...
It's not... You know what I mean? I'm just telling you
the reason why I'm saying, yeah, that he's selling his belt, I'm saying it in the essence that his mindset is just to make as much money as possible.
Of course.
Not to become undisputed.
Of course.
So in the process of making as much money as possible is I'm going to sell myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going there to win.
Yeah.
Canelo's the biggest cash cow. I'm gonna sell myself in it. The only bargaining chip that I have is my belt.
Bro, when have we ever seen a Cuban fighter that just travels around the world fighting? Cubans don't travel. His last fight was in Germany. Before that, it was Vegas. Then Germany, Argentina, Germany. Bro, man's never seen
sparring Conor Benn.
And then sparring. Man's never seen these types of things.
Now he's fighting in Saudi.
Man's never seen these types of things from a Cuban. Do you know what I'm saying? And the only knockouts he's got are against like super low level opposition. I mean, someone whose record was 2-3. I think he's only fought. He's only fought 12 rounds, like 3 or 4 times.
Actually, I don't think Canelo's getting enough stick for fighting William Skull,
bro.
He's not getting enough stick at all,
bro.
William Skull's
last stoppage was, to be fair,
Diaz
had one. He only had one loss.
Who's got worse of a knockout ratio? Who's had a more recent knockout? Skull or Canelo?
Probably Skull.
Because Canelo ain't had a knockout in 4 years.
Skull's last knockout was November of 2021. Same kind of time. They both haven't had a knockout. This could be a 12-rounder.
They both haven't had a knockout in 4 years. Now, Canelo's not getting enough stick for fighting William Skull still. You can't give me Balanga then William Skull. I'm sorry.
William Skull won a unanimous decision in an 8-rounder against someone with 32 wins and 18 losses. And he went to decision with that guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Canelo's shameless, bro. This guy is shameless.
That's what I said. That's what, bro. His ability to con the public is mad, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. And
he's got some like judge over Cinco de Mayo, bro. He just prints 100 mil every Cinco de Mayo. Every year he just prints 100 million. 100%. Every year, bro. He's like the Mexican bank. Like it's actually insane.
Alright, cool. So if we expect him to go past Skull, him versus Crawford, you want to see that fight? It's gonna happen.
You know what? I want to see it if Crawford wants it.
Crawford, it's gonna happen.
I defer to Crawford. I want to see Crawford.
You think Crawford has a chance of winning?
Yes.
Who do you pick to win that fight?
Canelo.
How do you think he wins?
It has to be points. You can't stop him.
You think Canelo can beat Crawford on points?
I think he can.
How?
I think he'll just have to. I think that Canelo will scumbag rounds. Crawford will land 3 or 4 punches, moving in and out, and Canelo will land one eye-catching counter that might steal in the round.
So you think it could be a controversial point decision?
It will be a controversial fight regardless. 100%.
Well, that works for Saudi. They get a 2-fight deal.
100%, bro. That's what these man's strategy, bro. Did man not see what Saudi do? Did man not watching what these men do, bro? Canelo has no legs. Before his power was gone, I said he's got no legs. Like, he hasn't run for like 6 or 7 years.
The reason why, yeah,
Crawford is very fit, very durable, can wrestle,
fast.
Is very, very fast. Crawford will look to move in and out.
Got better stamina than Canelo.
He will look to move in and out. The one thing that Canelo will have over him is size, which shouldn't matter too much because Crawford's an elite wrestler. Him and Lomachenko both wrestle. So the size shouldn't matter. The other thing is the power. Do you know what I mean? And Canelo needs... This is probably why he's fighting William Skull. He needs a knockout to go and fight.
Get some confidence.
He needs to get knockout confidence to go and fight Crawford.
For me, yeah, I'll keep it real. It's one of those ones where when I'm thinking about Crawford, when it was first announced, I wasn't really feeling it. But then now on reflection, yeah, because I can actually see a method in how Crawford wins this fight. Before I couldn't, but I'm like, Canelo don't have no more shot left. Like, this guy couldn't stop John Ryder, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, fam, since he does hurt opponents, but when was the last time he fought someone who had genuine skill and speed advantage over him?
We're going back to Gennady Golovkin. That was a unanimous decision. John Ryder couldn't really put too much of a dent in him. Jamel Charlo
didn't put a dent in him,
really. Then you got Munguia.
Then he dropped him. The thing is, he drops everyone he fights, but he doesn't have the finish instinct.
He didn't drop Ryder.
He did. He dropped Ryder. He dropped Ryder. We were alive for that fight.
Yeah.
He dropped Ryder, but he didn't.
Edgar Berlanga.
He dropped Berlanga.
Skull. And none of these people in the last 4 fights that he's fought have anywhere near the skill set
or speed.
Yeah. Athleticism, wrestling
ability. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you could. So now you almost have to go in the fight chasing a points decision.
Yes.
Do I want to be chasing a points decision against Crawford?
No.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, if you chase a knockout, that means you're going to give up rounds. Do you know what I'm saying? Canelo can't go into a Crawford fight.
So we're leaning more towards Crawford simply because what's happened in your mind is that you now struggle to see a path to which Canelo can win.
I can see how Canelo wins. A controversial points decision. And I can see maybe the power's too much and maybe he might get an early stoppage. But if it goes past 6 rounds, I genuinely... Because for me...
If Crawford is not intimidated of your power within the first 3 rounds, it's a long day for you.
Facts.
You'd have to land something on him early
100,
to let him know
this guy's the greatest calculator I've ever seen in boxing. Do you know what I'm saying? And when your legs start to go in that fight, you're going to get...
Canelo will need to put... In the first 3 or 4 rounds, he has to put a dent in Crawford. He needs to hurt him. He needs to get his respect. Because in the second half of the fight, rounds 7 to 12, he will not win a round.
He will not win a round. He will not win a round.
His stamina won't go because he's very, very, very fit, but his legs will go. His actual body will begin to break down.
And technically, Crawford would have got your timing by that time.
Yeah.
Crawford's understanding
He'll get your timing even more. You'll be slowing down.
Facts.
You'll almost be slowing down as he's starting to speed up.
Facts.
Crawford famously starts very slow.
Very slow. Again, if you think about the Majimov fight, other than the Spence fight, which I think that was just kind of 1, 2, 3, but the Porter fight, he starts fights quite slow, figures you out, then stops you.
Canelo needs to use that time when he starts slow to put a dent
in him. If he doesn't, it's one-way traffic.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it even more is because when we watched the Berlanga fight, you realise, and when we watched even the John Ryder fight, they all definitely in the Bivol fight, the second half of that fight was more competitive than the first half.
Yeah.
Like, I started to see them almost get a bit more confidence.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, if that goes to the second half of the fight, that's what I'm saying, it's all about Canelo's mindset. Because if Canelo goes into that fight trying to go for a stoppage, then that means you're going to give up rounds.
This is why he needs a knockout against Skull.
Facts.
He needs a knockout against Skull. He can't do 12 rounds against Skull. You do 12 rounds against William Skull, you very, very, very unlikely. I make you 15% able to stop Crawford.
So now you got to outpoint.
You're not outpointing Crawford.
So in actual fact, you're leaning towards Crawford to win the fight against Canelo.
he has to show me a knockout. Come back to me on Saturday after we watch the Williams Skull fight. I need to see a stoppage.
So if you don't see a stoppage...
If I don't see a stoppage, I'm making Crawford the favourite.
Wow.
Because what we're saying is, we're giving you a puncher's chance.
You're not like...
That's what we're getting down to. We're giving you a puncher's chance.
And you ain't had a knockout in 5 years.
We're giving you your Deontay Wilder fighting Usyk.
And you haven't had a knockout in 5 years.
You're bigger than him.
No, but we're giving you a puncher's chance and you haven't had a knockout in 5 years. That isn't...
That's Deontay Wilder versus Usyk. When did Wilder last knock someone out? Do you know what I mean? It must be a couple of years.
Yeah, trust.
The undercard. You want to touch the undercard quickly?
Munguia's in a rematch with, is it Sriracha or something like that? Sriracha, who, keep it real, that's who knocked him out in his last fight. So, boy.
Yeah, see what he's saying. Martin Bakoli against F.A. Ajagba.
Anyone can win that. Anyone can win that. We're going to be live for this card, by the way.
Yeah, we will be live for this as well. Badu Jack. Why is Badu Jack still fighting? I swear Badu Jack's Muslim.
Yeah.
And he lives like a healthy lifestyle. Just chill.
He lives in Saudi.
Brother, please. Just jam.
I see him in Saudi when I was there last time. He's at every flipping Riyadh season event, bro.
Yeah, but there's nothing to do in Saudi. So
yeah, nothing.
There's nothing to do. And then Michel Polina versus Marco Verdi.
Yeah.
Looking like fight. But yeah, Badu Jack, I always enjoy watching him fight, but...
Yeah. The man was fighting Groves and the Gale, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? We're talking about way back.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll be live for that. So stay tuned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And I guess the last thing of the weekend, which we'll be live for, is Inoue back in action.
Yeah.
To be fair, I expect Inoue to win pretty comprehensively. I guess the question I have for Inoue is, what does Inoue have to do to become pound for pound? Like number one, like eclipse Usyk and Crawford. Because a few weeks ago, Eddie Hearn was saying take Inoue out of the pound for pound list.
Why?
Because Inoue, long story short, Eddie Hearn's got Ahmed Aliyev. Ahmed Aliyev has been mandatory for Inoue for like 3 or 2 years. Mm-hmm. And every single time Inoue keeps asking for extensions and exemptions. Extensions and exemptions. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to... Literally, he's literally said that like 3 times.
Yeah.
He's written to the WBA and said, I don't want this fight. By the way, Ahmed Aliyev is Bivol's sparring. Bivol's...
It's part of the camp.
They're part of the camp. Yeah. So he's like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Like, he's literally outwardly said it. He does not want that fight.
Has he given a reason?
No,
because he'll lose.
I don't even actually think he will lose, but I just don't know why he don't want the fight. He's literally 3 times wrote to the WBA.
He's gonna say he's got a Ukrainian great grandma somewhere, and he's a conscientious objector or something. He's gonna put out the family tree.
I don't know what it is, bro, but he's literally come out and said he doesn't want the fight.
Yeah.
So because of that, Eddie Hearn was like, take him out the pound for pound list.
I don't think that. Yeah, I mean, listen, pound for pound is pure favoritism, innit? There's no logic behind it. It's just man's emotions. But at the end of the day, we've seen Canelo duck people for years and stay in the pound for pound list.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? So
this guy was promoting Canelo while he was ducking Benavidez and saying he's pound for pound number 1.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what I mean? Bivol and Beterbiev we didn't see for a long time. Knife, one of them was ducking the other one, but we just didn't see it.
Facts.
They didn't get taken out of the pound for pound list. AJ...
Tank!
Tank has signed with a promotional company that has the smallest roster of people at his weight class.
When they're about to get guys from other weight classes to fight.
Do you know what I mean? So like Tank is dodging everybody, and he stays in and around the pound for pound list. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, all the heavyweights went Wilder, AJ, and Fury. None of them cleared out a division. AJ probably came the closest, but none of them cleared out a division. And at different times, they've all occupied the pound for pound list.
Not Wilder.
In Wilder's early days, he did.
Nah. Pound for pound.
This is before Usyk was there. Man didn't know about Bivol and Beterbiev. Man didn't know about Usyk. Man didn't know 100%. There was a time in the early days when AJ was beating Charles Martin and he was beating not Brazil. He was beating Ortiz, and them kind of times he was in that conversation. 100%. This is before box. This is before Bivol, before Spencer Crawford, before all of this.
No, but Crawford.
Before all of this, man didn't have Crawford in the pound for pound top 5. It's like a lot of people, maybe deep boxing fans. I don't. This is revisionism. I promise you. At that time, that's what it was. Man was saying, if you shrunk him down to middleweight, you'd knock everyone out. This was the chat. This was the chat.
I must have not been privy to that chat.
This is the chat. But I'm saying this, the pound for pound list has always had man that will duck different people.
Of course.
It doesn't look good. I don't like the look of that from Inoue. You know, we rate Inoue not just for his knockout power, but for the way that he moves in terms of his career. So this is very out of character for you. Do you know what I'm saying? For Tank, unfortunately, do you know what's jarring? Yeah, with Inoue and Tank and these kind of guys, like it's like, do you ever have youths at school that were always late?
Yeah, of course.
And then what happened?
How was that you?
And then what happened was sometimes at school, yeah, if they went for like a whole half term and they weren't late, they'd get like a half day off or some type of school holiday or something. And you think, bruv, what about me? I'm never late. Why? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Why does he get special treatment?
Why does he get special treatment? Like, do you know what I mean? If I know someone that can't read and write and is a retard, yeah, and then they read and write a couple words, next thing everyone's sucking them off like they're something special. I was like, bro, this brother's an idiot. I've been able to read and write forever. Why do I not get this special? What's going on here? Do you know what I'm saying? And the same thing, like now, if Inoue ducks someone, it looks really bad for him. But Tank has built a career on ducking people. Yeah, it come to be expected. So man don't really judge him for that.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? But man will judge you harsher. Like if Usyk turned around and said, you know, Beterbiev's coming up to cruiserweight to fight him, and he says, "Nah, I don't want to fight him," or he didn't want to fight Joe Patai. So you look at Usyk like, "Rah, what's that all about?"
Facts. What would you want? What does Inoue have to do?
Inoue can never be in the level of Usyk and. So there's nothing.
So let me ask you a question: if Inoue fought Bam Bam Rodriguez, he couldn't.
No. Usyk's moved from cruiserweight to heavyweight and cleared out
2 divisions.
Cleared out a great cruiserweight division.
Facts.
And then cleared out a
very
good heavyweight division. There's nothing he can do to eclipse that.
So if he beat Bam Bam Rodriguez and beat Tank, he wouldn't be in pound for pound. That wouldn't eclipse. He would have to go up. He would have to go up 2 weight classes. He would have to go up 2 weight classes to fight.
2 weight classes when you're that size is very different to 2 weight classes when you're.
Wait, is it 2 weight classes or 3 weight? 126, 130, 135. 3 weight classes. But it would be only £10.
See, that's what it's not the same.
You think he could beat Tank?
It's so difficult. It is so difficult to no.
You don't think he could beat Tank?
No. One solid bang from Tank and the fight is potentially over.
Yeah.
Potentially. And I don't think that Inoue, one solid bang on Tank at the moment, stepping up, ends the fight.
You think, okay, that's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think if he clocks to his hardest punch, I don't think it is. He might need 3 or 4.
You think he beats Bam Bam Rodriguez?
They're so different.
Very.
No, but I could see.
Bam Bam is smaller than
Inoue.
Bam Bam is 1 weight class below Inoue though, or 2 weight class.
I could see a really entertaining fight though. That'd be a really entertaining fight.
Do you think he beats Nick Bull?
Yeah.
You think he beats Nick Bull?
Yeah.
I think he beats Nick Bull as well.
Yeah.
I think he beats Nick Bull.
Yeah. Nick Bull's style is too English.
Fairs. That actually might be his next fight. I'm hearing that actually might be his next fight.
Bro, if you're gonna just walk forward, head down, high guard, head down, walk forwards into Inoue, it's a long day for you. Nick Bull can't fight off the back foot.
Nope.
I think Inoue is better at fighting off the back foot. Inoue's come off the canvas to win. We haven't seen any of these things from Nick Bull. Like it's not just Inoue's knockout power. It's the whole experience that he has. Do you know what I'm saying? Inoue's cleaned out world champions. 3 like top tier world champions. Nick Bull ain't done these things. Nick Bull has not been in there with these types of levels of opponents. I mean, it's very.
You know, a fight. This is gonna get us. Me even saying this is gonna get the Japanese fans horny. But Nakatani versus Inoue in Japan, massive fight.
Yeah, I mean that's got to happen, innit?
At some stage.
That's got to happen because them Japanese man they don't travel well.
Yeah,
Japanese man. That's another reason that they don't really make it to this level, generally speaking, because they do not. East Asian fighters don't travel well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They tend to just fight like Thai fighters. Big people just stay over that.
They stay over there. There's such a big. We spoke about this already. There's such a big population over there,
and there's such a big like Inoue is a. I think this is his first fight in years in
Vegas.
in outside of Japan.
Outside of Japan, yeah.
My man made Fulton come over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Nonito Dene obviously is already from Filipino, so but like you come to Japan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's
He's
how.
the biggest star over there.
And them man have said it. They're almost like the equivalent of us in the UK, maybe even bigger.
They're bigger.
I mean, in terms of boxing culture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you keep it real, having...
And there's only one. We have several stars.
Facts.
But they maybe got 3 stars.
But then, that's what I'm saying, having 2 around similar weight classes, a Nakatani versus a Inoue, similar weight classes, and they're both doing, like, right now, some people are putting Nakatani in the top 10 pound for pound. I have him slightly outside, but just that spectacle as a fight itself for Japan, that's a mad thing, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a mad thing.
Yeah. And, you know, if it helps him dodge fighters that you don't want to fight, because realistically, nobody wants to see the Russians. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's bad until the Russian walks in the room, and then everything's just different.
Well, not necessarily, because that man, well, he's not Russian, he was Ukrainian, but that guy was talking classic, Usyk though. But I genuinely think people look at Usyk and think he's some idiot, you know?
What, we talking about, the Wars brethren?
Yeah.
He's an idiot. Whoever that brother is, that light-skinned, red-skinned brother, he's an idiot, bro. He's an idiot, bro.
Yeah, trust me.
You know, the thing is, away from anything else, forget about road, who's bad, country, but you don't talk to a world champion like that.
Trust me, bro.
You don't talk, name me the last time you saw someone in the entourage getting rude to a world champion.
In America, it happens all the time.
We're not in America.
Yeah, how you mean in over here?
Well, even in America, when do you see that happen?
All the time, bro. People chat shit to Devin every day.
Devin's a small guy, bro. Devin's 5'8", bro. We're talking about a heavyweight champion.
Oh, heavyweight. Yeah.
Heavyweight champion.
Happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Heavyweight. You man chatting shit to Mike Tyson.
Man chatting shit to Wilder. Like,
man chatting to Wilder.
Who in Dominic Brazil's camp is going to start chatting to Wilder? Like, oh, when the fight's done, meet me in the car park. Are you fucking stupid?
Lynch, yeah.
Are you stupid? And Wilder's not the best fighter, but are you stupid? But, bro, just from a general respect thing, how dare you? How dare you?
Like, literally, how dare you? Like, have some respect.
Have some respect.
But you know what is? Like, genuinely, some man must look at Usyk and think he's some idiot, bro. Like, you must think Usyk.
Because certain men are from ends. I'm thinking of me doing this.
Yeah, do it.
Alright, cool. Where's the bar from? What end's he from?
It's a good point. He's the one guy from London. He's not from my end. He might be from your end.
No.
He's from West. He's from West. I bet he's from West. I bet he's not. I bet he's from West. I bet he's from West.
I've got a terrible feeling.
I know he's not from North. I know he's not from North.
Terrible feeling.
I know he's not from North.
The point I was going to make, please, wait, before I click on this, please, God, I'll follow who aren't here. He's from Greenwich.
I'm glad. You're lucky.
Cool. Alright, cool. The point I was going to make is, certain man, like, this conversation is like black man to black man if you're a black man, If you're not black, just observe, Certain man come from ends where all the bad man in their ends are black.
Fact.
So what happens is they get this thought in their head that if
just
you're not
I'm black,
you're a side man.
Facts.
But you might buck up on someone who's a bad man white man, or is a bad man Asian man, or is a bad man Somali man. Some Somalis consider themselves black, some don't. Or a bad man Pakistani man, or a bad man Albanian. I'm from West London. You know what I'm saying? We've got bad man Turkish people, bad man Albanian people, bad man Iranian people, bad man Pakistani people, bad man Sri Lankan people, bad man Jamaican people. It's just whatever. West London's just whatever. Everyone's bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Not everyone's bad, but it's mixed. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you come from an ends where that's what happens. Some of these men go up north and just get punched up because they don't realise that they're chatting to man that it's not the vibe. Whether you come across Traveller man or whether you come across, bro, everybody's got the same problem that Americans have sometimes. The Americans happen to be in heavyweight boxing, like genetically very gifted, very powerful, etc. But if they're not, they often, when they travel, they buck up on people that's not.
Yeah, facts.
It looks different. Being a bad man looks different in every end. 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, them man net, especially Eastern Europeans, I don't want to put Russians and Ukrainians in one thing because you man have got your beef right now. But Eastern European man, they're very stoic, they don't portray that bad man image in the same way. They don't move like that.
Like, you brought up a great point. When was the last time someone was
That is wild disrespect. Name me a time and someone in the opponent, not the fighter, not Mitch Green talking to Mike Tyson, the opponent's entourage told the heavyweight champion, I'll meet you in the car park outside. What are you talking about?
Bitch.
What are you talking about?
100%.
You're a security guard. If you were bad, you would go and fight. Why aren't you fighting then? Why aren't you fighting then? You're a side man. You're an idiot.
Trust me. Why are you not fighting?
Why are you not fighting then?
Why are you not fighting? Literally. I made the guy you're supporting quit.
Exactly.
I made the guy you're supporting quit. Why are you not fighting, my bro? You're a waste man for that still. He's an idiot. He's a big time
Idiot. I don't know who that guy is. You're an idiot. If we find this at someone tag him in the comments or something. He's a clown. You know what I mean? That's no respect, bro. 100%. And the thing is with Usyk, it's not even like Usyk's a shit talker. If that happened, because if you were fighting Jerome Miller and Jerome Miller was like, I'll punch you up and your whole crew, and then you got involved, I can understand that. Usyk don't shit talk. Usyk's just sitting there minding his business. They were talking about the low blow.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And he was just saying it was a low blow. Blah blah. Now you're telling him about you'll fight him outside and what? Bro, do you hear what Usyk said to him?
Yeah.
Do you bring 4 of your guys?
And I'll bring
4 of my guys. I'm not taking 4 of my guys to go fight Usyk's people.
100%.
I'm not on that.
No,
I'm Jamaican. If I can take a strap, then we can have a conversation. But I'm not taking 4 of my brothers to fight fist on fist with 4 of them mans. But no way.
It's long.
Them man wrestle bears and that. He man high.
I genuinely feel like...
Some of these men were just on the front line fighting Russia last week.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they just flew here. Bro,
bro, I genuinely think some black people think just because they're black, they will win.
These men watch too much Don't Be a Menace. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Literally, what I'm saying. American gangster.
Yeah, it's an American gangster in that. Like, that's what it is, bro. Nah, bro. Nah.
You must think this guy's name's Dave, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally, it's not that, bro.
He's not a sideman in any way. He's a serious don.
Trust me.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever, like, you see the clip of Eubank talking about when he asked Mike Tyson to fight him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Mike's like, come on, bro.
Literally.
The politest way to say, I would fucking kill you.
Literally.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, did you see the best one? I loved it. Love it was when Javante Davis and Terence Crawford were going back and forth, and he's like, bro, this guy's got a 300-pound wife, and he's cussing Terence Crawford's wife because she's a big woman, innit? And he's like, oh, this guy's got bare children, he's got a 300-pound wife, and Crawford was like, bro, me and you both know. If I saw you outside the ring, I'll break your fucking neck. I'll send you the video. And there was no video or there was no reply to that.
Bro, I still love one of my favourite videos. I probably watch this video once every 3 months, I'd say. Is when Danny Jacobs bucks the Charlo. He bucks them both. And again, it was Charlo's brethren that was talking.
Literally.
And James like, bro, I don't even know, like, bro, he's a professional fighter and I'll fuck him up. Do you know what I'll do to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
100%.
It's mad, bro. Yeah, it's mad. They're trying to get Dubois. They're going to get Dubois hurt.
100%.
Because Usyk is the best with this spiteful aggression.
Trust me.
He's the best at that. I'm motivated. The best thing you could do is try to lure. If I'm fighting Usyk, I'm going to be so friendly, so nice, so friendly. Try to lure him into some...
think that makes a difference.
I won't. But try to lure him into some... Bro, this is like the gorilla fighting 100 man. I'm going to try and lure you into some false sense of security and then try a surprise attack. But I'm not going to do is try like be uber aggressive to... That's just not going to... Do you man not study boxing? Like, who have you, man, got around you?
Literally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we laugh at Dubois for eating crayons, but these man are feeding him the crayons. Because
100%.
Do you, man, not study boxing? Do you not study people like, this is not someone you go and get aggressive with. That just won't, not for an intimidation thing, it just won't work.
It won't work.
It won't work.
Fury tried it as well.
It will not work. Fury's way bigger.
AJ tried it as well, saying, I know man that nearly went to prison. I'll never forget that.
AJ's from your end.
No, he's not. He's from Watford. That is not a North London postcode. Is that a North London postcode? Is that a North London postcode? No, he's not from London. He's from Watford. He's from Watford.
Is Enfield North?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and it's not a North London postcode. Thank you.
No, but
so all of you man are over there. All of you man are over there.
Watford,
Cheshunt and all them man. So all of you man are over there.
Put Chisora in. Put Chisora in.
Chisora's from Northwest.
No, Chisora's from Finchley.
Okay.
So what are you talking about, bro?
AJ boxed out of Finchley.
No, but he's not from North.
That's your guy. That's your guy. We got George Groves. You man stay over there. You man stay over there. We got George Groves. You man stay over there.
Watford.
Do you know what I mean? But I think that this
we also got Vidal Riley as well.
That fake aggression thing that he's got. He's gonna get Brock up.
Trust me.
He's actually gonna get Brock up.
But we're live for all those fights, so just stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Moving on. I think there's only one. Yeah, bro.
Shane is obsessed with trying to compare Arsenal to Man United, and I don't. Can I say how? If I finish my point, and you can. I don't know why he's obsessed with this. Like, whether if both our teams flop, their flop is better than our flop for some reason, or if both our teams are successful, their success is better than our success for some reason. Obsessed with this nonsense comparison.
No. Can I tell you how I got to where I am right now?
Go ahead.
I was sitting in my humble 15th place that I think we are in right now. And I was thinking, boy, what is their takeaways from the season? This is the worst Man United team that's ever existed. Ever. Statistically and off paper, on paper, however you want to mix it, it's the worst.
15 losses.
Yeah. Worst Man United. We can categorically say worst United team, right?
Yep.
But I was thinking, what is there for us to look forward to? I'm like, we're in the Europa League final, and I genuinely believe we're going to win it. I said it on this show, we're going to win it. So I'm like, is 15th and a Europa League final a good season? I'm like, no, it's a horrible season. It's a Europa League, but it's a horrible season. We're still at our worst. We're still in our face. Pause. And I thought to myself, even at our worst, we live better than man at their best. Because Arsenal's finishing second, 12 places ahead of us, and still have no trophy. Still no European trophy. So I just thought to myself,
our best, I wouldn't say.
It's your it's the best you've
got
been.
3 Premier League titles. It's not us.
It's the best. I would argue that Arsenal over the last 3 years have been. This is as good as it's been for you, lot, at least in the last 20 years. It's as good as it's been for you for the last 20 years. The last 3 years is as good as it's been for you for the last 20 years. Is that right? Since 2000,
won the title in 2004-5.
No, 2003-4.
Yeah, that was Invincible.
Yeah. So go on, we'll go on. In the last 20 years,
we won FA Cups.
Listen to what I'm saying. In the last 20 years,
no, because there's been a season where we finished second and got an FA Cup. So this isn't the best it's been.
So you would say the last 3 years, consecutive 3 years, was what other 3 year period is better than what?
Oh, you didn't say, okay, cool, the 3 year period. Yeah,
this is the best version of Arsenal, right?
Yeah,
you're in a Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, we're in a good space, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And even in your best phase for 20 years, you are not better, or you're not achieving more than us in our worst phase. Does that not make you feel a little bit disgraceful?
It depends, innit? Because obviously you're picking a specific strategic argument to frame your position.
I'm going by trophies, innit?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, 2 seasons ago, West Ham won a Europa Conference League. They won a trophy and we didn't.
And they had a better season than you that season.
I would still rather be in Arsenal's position than Man United's position. So
that's not the point.
But that's the point I'm making. So if you wanna say that you're,
you know what?
If you wanna
say I might not.
If you want to say that this season's better than ours, if you win a trophy and we don't, that's fine. Obviously, you're competing against lower level opposition than we are, but that's okay because you're not as good a team as we are, so that's fine.
No, but here's the thing. No, but you were in the Europa League and you didn't win it, so that doesn't mean anything.
You're talking about this season.
You've never won a trophy.
You're tap dancing.
Okay, go on.
Are we talking about one season?
Land your point.
Are we talking about?
I'm gonna let you land and then we'll go. I'm gonna let you land.
Okay, cool. So you're playing against lower level opposition. You know what I'm saying? We knocked out Real Madrid. We've got PSG. If we get through PSG, we've got Barcelona, who are probably going to win the league, or Inter Milan, who might win their league. Like, we're competing at the creme de la creme of Europe. If we fall slightly short and we lose a 1-0 or a penalty shootout in a final, it's going to be painful. But I'm not going to look at a team that's 14th for winning Europa League and go, damn, I wish I won that Europa League. Yes, winning a trophy is better than not winning a trophy. Of course.
That's what my point is.
Yeah, of course. I've granted
is.
you that point. But I'm just saying, if I'm looking at the next 5 years of our clubs, I'm still much happier. If I'm a young player around Europe and I have a contract offer from Arsenal or United, I'm signing with.
No, but I know. But my point is, how does it feel? No, how does it feel within yourself to know that at our worst we can still achieve more than you at your best?
It doesn't make me feel anything because you know what it is. Yeah, I see. I was getting bare tweets the other day and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and I see all these tweets from Liverpool fans and talking about Arsenal and whatever, and it was like, bro, Liverpool won the league, yeah. And the first thing they did when they won, the first thing they thought about when they won the league is us.
Yeah.
It's very, very odd. And then now, you've got United fans that are looking at a Europa League final, and the first thing they think about is us. It's weird. Like, I know man beating their gal, and they're thinking about us. It just don't make any sense to me. Like, I don't think about you. I don't think about you. Like, I for Arsenal.
No,
so I'm looking at Arsenal. So when you're asking me how does it feel when you think about United, I don't think about United.
No, but
I don't.
no, but I'm just saying, if I was an Arsenal fan,
You're not.
and I was judging my season, and I saw my competitors winning trophies before I did, I would be skeptical, bro.
I don't even think that you guys are competitors to us right now. You guys are 14th. We're second. We're in the Champions League. You're in the Europa
But that makes
League.
it even worse.
That makes it even worse. That makes it even worse.
I think that makes
We're not
it.
competing.
I think that makes it worse though.
We're not competing.
Do you not
That's
think
like
that
I'm in Miami talking to supermodels, and you're in Croydon Whitgift Centre, and you're
No,
getting
but
you're getting gas because you draw more numbers than me. We're not competing on the same level. We're not competing on the same level.
You're not getting
what are you talking about?
I'm still getting. I'm still getting mine. You're not getting yours.
If that's what
you're not getting yours.
Cool.
You're not getting yours.
Okay, so
you're not getting
that's
yours.
perfect.
You're not getting yours.
So you stay in Croydon. And I'll go to Miami, and then we'll just be happy with where we're at. I might draw one gal in Miami.
And
you might draw 10 gal in Croydon.
You're not even drawing one. You're not even drawing one. You're not even drawing one.
But the thing is, you haven't even won the Europa. We're in the same place.
We're winning. We're winning.
You said
bro, I know we're winning.
Okay.
I told you. Clip me, bro.
Okay.
I told you we're winning.
Okay.
I will bet. I will know we're winning.
Taron,
I know we're winning.
Are you winning the Europa League?
Yeah, we are.
Let me tell you how I know we're winning.
I fucking hate you.
Let me tell you how I know we're winning. You see when we went 4-2 down and we came back 5-4 and Maguire scored a winner. Yeah. I should have put 100 grand. I don't even have 100 grand. I even have £100. I don't get paid enough.
Such a liar. Such a liar. This guy's rich, you know. But Maguire's your best attacker. I've said this for 2 seasons.
Probably.
I've said this for 2 seasons. Yeah.
But when you
Plan B.
He's your best attacker.
when we scored that goal,
yeah,
and just keeping it all the way 100.
Yeah.
When we scored that goal, I was like, we're winning it. It's got our name written on it. That was just like when we played Coventry, and Coventry scored that goal that was ended up being offside. I knew we were gonna win the FA Cup.
Yep.
And this is the same thing. I'm telling you, we're gonna win it. But do you believe we have more chance of winning it than you?
I think no. The bookies literally make Arsenal the favourites.
Do we have more chance of winning the Europa League than you have winning the
I think
Champions
we've
League?
got roughly the same chance.
Same chance?
I think so.
No, I think you're.
You lot are playing in the worst competition with lower level opposition, but you're a worse team, so I think it balances out.
I think we're playing. I think.
That's what I'm saying. You're not even looking at the likelihood of you winning against Lyon or against the teams you're playing against. You're just thinking about us. Why am I thinking about us?
Can I ask you a question? Here's another question then. Do you think you win the Champions League?
I said this. Yes.
You think you win the Champions
Yes.
League? Do you actually believe
Yes.
you win the Champions League?
Yes.
That's a good. I'm glad. Before you did it.
You said this
Before you
every
did
week.
it.
Yeah,
Before
we
you
did.
did
You did this last week. You did this last week. I said on tactical. Was I or was I not one of the only Arsenal fans that you knew that said we're winning 2-1 at the Bernabeu? At the Bernabeu.
I said that as well. Though.
I said we're winning 2-1. I said Arsenal fans. You're not Arsenal. I know you want to be. You're not an Arsenal fan. I said Arsenal fans 2-1. I said we're winning 2-1 at the Bernabeu. Tactical Insight AFTV. Go check it out. And I was right. We won 2-1. You know what I'm saying? And I believed that we were going to go there and do that. This PSG team is better attacking wise, but they commit so many defenders forwards. We will have joy. I believe that. This is potentially the hardest game for us.
Nah, Barca, bro.
This is potentially the hardest game.
Barca.
This is potentially the hardest game.
No, you're mad.
Barca,
bro.
But Barca got to get past Inter.
True.
And Inter have the best defense in Europe.
I think you're in a fortunate position because Inter actually got a really good shot. I think you beat Inter in a final.
I think so as well.
But I don't think you beat Barca in a final. I think
it's very technical.
Nah, bro.
I agree with you. I'd rather Inter. But you can't say we don't beat Barca. In a final, anything can happen.
Nah, bro. Bro, the way I see Lamine Yamal, bro, that guy is like
Man said that about bro. Man said this about Bellingham. Man said
I've never said that about Bellingham or Mbappe. Let me tell you why, yeah?
Vinicius.
Because Bellingham's never showed me that he's clutch. He's never shown me that he's clutch. Yamal, yeah?
Mbappe's clutch.
Mbappe is definitely clutch. But that Real Madrid systems don't work for Mbappe. They got him playing up front, so it doesn't make a difference. I'm talking about Lamine Yamal. Bro, that experience though, where the Lewandowski, I can't see how you stop them from scoring. I can't see how you stop them from scoring.
Outscore them. It's a cup final.
You outscore them. Yeah. When you got Miles Lewis-Skelly playing in centre mid, who's gonna be?
Why would he be playing in centre mid?
Because that's what he does. He plays in centre mid. He's a left back that plays in centre mid.
He inverts, but he's not. He doesn't play in
centre
mid.
So that's what. Listen to what I'm saying. He's a left back who plays centre mid. Mm-hmm. When you don't have and don't have the ball, he's in centre mid. So who's going to be marking Yamal?
We don't have the ball.
He's in centre mid. He's still in centre mid. How many times did I see Yamal? Not Yamal. Lewis Skelly win the ball in the middle of the park. I've seen him win the ball in the middle of in the game against Real Madrid. He was winning the ball in the middle of the park. He was an extra body in the middle of the park.
It's because of how they play, but he plays left back.
And when he goes invert, who's gonna be covering your mouth? Man's gonna that whole place gonna be skin out. There's gonna be nobody there.
I've heard this before, man. I heard it before.
I was the one who told you you were gonna beat Real Madrid. I told you you were gonna beat Real Madrid.
Let's talk about this when the final happens. When we get to the final, because Barcelona might not even get past Inter,
and you might not get past PSG,
and you might not get past Leon.
We're not playing Leon.
He playing
about Bilbao.
You might not get past Bilbao.
I'm so confident with you. Nico Williams injured as well.
Perfect.
So I'm so confident. I think we win the first game 3-1. I think we win the first game 3-1, and we win the second game. No, we might lose the second game.
When are you gonna start coming to the studio and doing Man United lives?
You know what it is, yeah?
Go, let's hear this. Go.
During the week, it's a bit techie for me because I work and like it kind of laps. Sometimes I'm having to watch Europa League games whilst I'm actually at work, so it's a bit tight. Pause.
Hey, yo. Alright, cool. But no, it'd be good to get some of these lives.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Get some of these live streams for Arsenal games, for Man United games.
Next season, we've got to try and work something out.
Yeah.
Still. Next season. Because I actually might do lives at my house where there's bare people in there. Like, it might be mad fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
calm.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Let us know in the comments what you think. What's Man United's chance of winning the Europa League?
We're winning it. We've won it. We've won it, bro.
We've won it.
What's
Arsenal's chance of winning the Champions League? Talk to me about this card on Friday. We've got the crazy New York card. Talking about who's going to win those fights. What is the toughest fight? Who's going to be the upset? Are we going to see Ryan and Devin Haney next? Talk to me about Canelo fighting William Skull live on the channel. Can Canelo knock out William Skull? Is there no knockouts in 4 years? Do you know what I'm saying? So I was gonna make a joke, but let me not. The comment was in the show. Let me just keep it clean. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got Inoue as well. All of these fights we're covering live on the channel, so make sure that you like, subscribe. We're gonna be here. And then what's next for Inoue? Is it Nakatami? Is it Nick Bull? Is it my man? Is the Ukrainian guy?
No, he's actually Eastern European. I don't even know what Eastern European.
Say no more. Do you know what I mean? It's political, so I don't want to pick the wrong country, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, what's that?
MG, Ahmed Aliyev.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So is Inoue gonna fight him? What's the story there?
He's gonna fight Nick Bull.
That's what I said, Nick Bull.
Yeah, he's gonna fight Nakatani.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be live anyway.
We're gonna be live.
Japanese people,
weekend.
make sure you pull up. When do you see black people covering Chinese or Japanese sport?
Chinese.
Japanese or Chinese.
Oh,
Japanese or Chinese.
Oh wow.
I'm just being honest. When do you see black?
Cover Big Dan Zhang.
I can't call no man Big Bang still. Can't call no man Big Bang. Unless I'm talking about Sheldon and Leonard, then I can't call no man Big Bang still.
But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're out. Peace and love.